Welcome back to Seven Deadly Sins Anime Review, episode number 9. This one I'm reviewing the third episode of the series, The Light That Drives the Darkness, and the 328th chapter of the manga, the ultimate one. This episode pretty much finishes up adapting chapter 197, covering chapter pages like 9 to 13 and the last 3 pages of the chapter. And like a little bit of like chapter like 225. I'd say like bits and pieces of it. Yeah, they just barely cover that chapter. The episode, basically, I should point out though, now with this season we have a brand new studio, Studio Dean. Yep, brand spanking new studio for this season. Yep, and we also get a new interesting called Run the Frontier. I heard it's actually a pretty good song. I mean, it's not as like, exciting as the opening themes they have for the first 2 seasons, but they cover like 4. This is technically the 5th song the series has actually had. Yep. Also in this episode, now most of the Deadly Sins are pretty much in this particular episode. Well, except for King at the end, show at the very end. I'll get to that in a minute. The episode picks up where you have Bond and Meliodas just freeing a bunch of people sent to be sacrificed, and they were basically brought to where they need to go by a bunch of bird demons. We see Zedros for one scene in Camelot, still pretty much the same place. Yeah, Camelot's basically the base operations for the Ten Commandments. Yep, and Escanor, the sin of love, he is in a coma, though he kind of wakes up in very like dramatic fashion because he's dreaming about Meliodas. That was a flashback to the previous season. Now, one thing that this particular episode does, I thought this was really weird to see this. Like, for like every character who pops up in this episode, they get sort of like their own little brief little title card thing. Like, we have the Dragons in the Wrath Meliodas, the Fox Sin of Pride, Bond. They do this for pretty much all the Ten Commandments in this episode, except for Deanne and King. They don't do it for those two because they don't appear to the end of the episode. They do it also for a couple of pretty much all the holy, like pretty much like the top 3 holy knights. They don't do it for the former, let's just say the 2 people who actually survived the previous arc. Yep, there is like mentionings what happened in the previous, like when Milius killed Fron. Yeah, that's mentioned in here. Not much is coming. Now, see, this episode does cut out the part of the episode that do cut out is the scene from pages 14 to 16. Actually, yeah, it's 14, 15. It's a 2-page thing where Galthor is released in prison. Yeah, that was actually covered in the previous season. Yeah, they covered it at the end of the previous season. In this episode, they pretty much just, it's like with this episode, they finish up chapter 187. It's officially done. Yes, and this arc is the Memories Holy War arc. Yep, that's what pretty much this arc is. Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much the next episode. So the episode ends quite in sort of a goofy fashion. Ends the Very King's Forest. We have now I do appreciate some of the sort of change they make here. Now in the manga, they have it's where when they first show King in this chapter, you see him kind of from almost growing up. Here they show his back. He's like wondering why my wings are going. And here's a splash, and it's the end, and she's completely naked. Yes, and they both scream, and that's the episode itself. Pretty good episode. I at least got to praise the fact it's well. There was also this one really. I should point out though, there is one thing for 225 that's briefly shown in here. I forgot to mention. Where Bond and Meliodas go to a village where a kid called himself Philiotis, the Dragon Sin. Yeah, I think he's like Meliodas because he's blonde. He looks kind of like him. He's a little bit smaller than him. Yep, and his village under control of demons. So Bond, Meliodas, Escanor, Merlin, and Galthor just show up, and they pretty much destroy all demons there. Kill them all pretty easily. Escanor gets maybe like one line the whole episode, and that's pretty much what it is for him. Pretty much the character in most lines is basically just Bond, Meliodas, and Elizabeth herself doesn't show up until like halfway, but almost like not until the episode's almost over she finally shows up. Yes, the main female lead of the series doesn't show up until halfway through an episode. Yep. But yeah, pretty good episode. I think I covered pretty much everything. Yeah, I think I did. All right, now for the newest of the manga, The One's Ultimate. Yeah, chapter starts off with Escanor basically getting sort of flamed up. Yep. And he takes on the Demon King possessed Zedros. He fights him, called One Ultimate. Basically, he pretty much like is like mopping the floor with him, like punching him like crazy. Yep. And of course, Bond gets a chance to pitch into Lone King, and looks like they're winning. hmm Yeah, apparently because Escanor basically just getting like all full of himself, thinking that he's drinking, so he's basically on a rampage. Yeah, so he has no concept of control. So yeah, of course. Well, then all of a sudden, Demon King possessed Zedros summons up a demon to take on the seven deadly sins. Escanor jumps is like, I swore an oath to myself that day. I'll keep it ever since. I tried to abandon it. Now, for your sake, I will repent the seven deadly sins. Yep, and he basically marches toward it. And then Melios goes with demon mode. Yeah, it's demon mode. And it's like, if you can put your life on a line like this, it's only right we put our lives on it for you as well. Yep. And they pretty much like eviscerate the demon like pretty easily. And Zedros possessed demon king possessed Zedros is like he's got like a bloody face for being punched in the face by Escanor. Yep, and he have Escanor saying everyone's name: Merlin, Bond, Garthor, King, Deanne, Captain. Forgive me. It's too late for me to back out now. So instead, I'm heading down in order. Please allow me the honor of fighting alongside or friends into the bitter end. Of course. Yeah. And apparently Melios had to lose his shirt. Yep. And that's the end of the chapter. Next issue will be on break for the series. Resume with chapter 47. In issue 47. Next chapter, Zedros versus Demon King. Yep, we're finally. It seems like though with this particular chapter, we're finally start wrapping up this particular arc and possibly the whole series. hmm Yeah, lots to talk in this chapter, and well, Escanor making a fool of himself in this chapter, but he's still my favorite male character in the whole series because he's such a good character. I love his development, and it is something though that this mode of his basically, yeah, this would cause him to go berserk. But at least he's not attacking his friends, which glad for that. Yep. But yeah, not much else to say about this particular chapter, but it's pretty good. I give this chapter roughly a. I'm gonna give it a 8.5. It's a slight step down from the last chapter, which was so exciting. I loved it. Yep. But not much to say about this particular chapter. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do one more video. It'll be the first review of the movie review of the very first RoboCop film. Okay. See you next film review. Bye.